So what happens when a crypto project that's built on this really beautiful, idealistic idea of fairness crashes head-on into the brutal reality of the open market? That question right there is the absolute key to understanding the paradox of XEN Crypto, and we are about to unpack all of it.
You know, if you've ever traded crypto, you've probably felt it. It's that nagging feeling in the back of your head that the game is kind of rigged, right? That there are these bigger players who are always somehow one step ahead. Well, it turns out you're not wrong. To really get why a project like XEN was even created, we have to understand the game it was trying to disrupt. Because in the crypto world, there's this constant battle going on between huge, sophisticated firms and everyday traders, people like us. Let's break down how this game is actually played.
Okay, so here's the most important thing to understand. Market makers, the smart money, they need liquidity to fill their massive orders. And where do they get that liquidity? Well, they get it from us, the retail traders who are just reacting to the price moves that they create. It's basically a classic predator-prey situation.
Here's a trap I bet you've seen before. You see the price smash through a big resistance level, your heart starts racing, and you jump in thinking, this is it, this is the big move. But bam, it's bait. The market makers were just waiting to sell into your excitement. The price immediately crashes, and your position gets totally wiped out.
Or how about this one? You do the smart thing, the responsible thing, and you set a stop loss to protect yourself. But the market makers, they practically have a map of where all those stop losses are sitting. So they can just push the price down just far enough to trigger all those sales, scoop up all that cheap liquidity, and then just sit back and watch the price reverse right back up without you. It's brutal.
So it's out of this completely frustrating cycle of pumps and dumps that a pretty radical idea was born. A group of developers decided they didn't just want to play the game better, they wanted to create a whole new game, an antidote to the insider system itself. And this really gets to the very soul of their mission. See, XEN wasn't just another token. It was a philosophical statement. It was this big attempt to go back to the core ideas of fairness and true decentralization that got so many of us excited about blockchain in the first place.
At its core, XEN is just an ERC20 token, but it was built to be as fair as humanly possible. We're talking no pre-mining, no special allocations for the founders, no backroom deals for venture capitalists. The whole point was to create a truly level playing field from day one.
And I mean, when you put it side by side with a typical crypto launch, the difference is just night and day. Most projects give insiders this huge head start. XEN just threw that entire playbook in the trash. It started with 0 tokens in existence, no special access for anyone, no admin keys. From the very first second, the community was in total control.
So you're probably asking, okay, if there's no companies selling tokens and none were pre-mined, where do they actually come from? And the answer is pretty incredible. They come from the users themselves.
They call this new model proof of participation. And unlike Bitcoin, where you need powerful computers, or other cryptos where you need a ton of capital to stake, the only thing you have to invest here is your time. This just shatters the financial barrier to entry, making it accessible to basically anyone with an internet connection.
And the process itself couldn't be simpler. Seriously. First, you just connect your wallet and claim your spot online. Second, you choose how long you're willing to wait. It could be a day, it could be a few hundred days. And then third, once your time is up, you just pay the gas fee and poof, you mint your tokens into existence. That's the whole thing.
All right, so the philosophy is noble, the mechanics are simple, it sounds almost perfect, right? Well, this is the exact moment where that beautiful, idealistic vision collides head-on with the messy, chaotic reality of an open market. And the results were, well, they were wild.
This is the flip side of the XEN coin. Because the very thing that makes it so fair, the fact that anyone can create new supply anytime they want, also creates this immense, constant downward pressure on the price. The result? A value with a lot of zeros after that decimal point. I mean, just look at these numbers. The swing from its all-time high down to its low was a staggering 99.4% drop. That is pure whiplash-inducing volatility. And it's the direct, unfiltered consequence of this fair launch model playing out in the real world with real money.
So it's really no surprise that this chaotic price action has left the crypto world completely divided. You'll find the community is split almost perfectly down the middle. 50% are bulls who believe in the long-term vision, and 50% are bears who just see a broken system. The whole debate is whether this is a brilliant experiment or a fundamentally flawed one.
Because here's the thing.
When you design a system to be completely open and totally hands-off, you also open the door to all sorts of new problems, vulnerabilities that maybe the creators never even saw coming. And sure enough, the system's openness turned out to be its Achilles heel. While it stopped the old-school insider manipulation, it became vulnerable to new kinds of attacks. One person found a gas loophole and minted a massive supply for next to nothing. Another launched what's called a Sybil attack, flooding the network with thousands of fake wallets to completely undermine that core idea of one wallet, one rank. So when you boil it all down, these are the core challenges baked right into XEN's DNA. You've got constant inflation, you've got this vulnerability to clever exploits, you have super thin liquidity, which causes insane price swings, and then you have the ultimate question, besides just minting more of it, what's the long-term use case? What actually drives demand?
And this brings us right back to the central paradox of XEN, doesn't it? Is all this chaos, all this extreme volatility, is that just the unavoidable price you have to pay for true, unmanaged decentralization? Or do the bugs and the crazy price swings end up undermining the entire mission of fairness? That's the billion-dollar question at the heart of this fascinating, flawed, and totally unique experiment.